And now for our leading news story. The first cases of the newly developed super mad cow disease have been detected in Eastern Europe and mainland China, in addition to the cases reported earlier in Southeast Asia and Brazil. It is now a generally recognized fact that this highly contagious strain is making its way across the globe. We now turn to Professor Matthew Roby, expert in pathology and zombology, based in the University of Oxford.
Hello.
Now, Dr. Roby, would you care to describe to the viewers the symptoms of the disease?
Yes, of course. But first I would just like to cover the very basics of this new super mad cow disease. It's a mutation of the old relatively simple mad cow disease, which was only able to be contracted by humans by eating infected beef. The symptoms are, in fact, what many would associate with the stereotypical zombie behavior, such as changes in gait as they walk or run, hallucinations, lack of coordination, muscle twitches, myoclonic jerks or seizures, and of course later on the development of delirium or dementia. Now, the particular danger of this super mad cow disease is the added condition that the brain's serotonin emitters are inhibited, resulting in a group of very angry zombies once the chemical is removed, of course. And this adds to the virus's new ability to transfer from human to human through saliva to blood contact. And if such is the case, we're looking at quite the situation.
And how fast could it spread?
Well, nobody can say, really. There are a great manner of factors which affect the spread of the disease, especially when the basic sanitation is an issue and the vectors of the disease are, as of yet, unknown. What we currently do know, of course, is that this super mad cow disease is able to spread human to human through bites and blood to blood contact, allowing the infected to infect others.
Is there any way we could use their lack of coordination to our advantage?
Well, the order in which the symptoms appear is quite important. The loss of coordination is one of the later symptoms, for example, whereas the suppression of serotonin and contagiousness are among the first.
So we're going to have an army of fast, angry, and contagious zombies on the loose soon.
Well, hardly an army, I would say, due to their lack of sociability. More an angry lynch mob, I would say.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Roby.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Governments around the world are beginning to close their borders to refugees, fearing that infected individuals may be contagious even before symptoms appear. NATO members in mainland Europe have invoked the Mutual Defense Clause, and defenses are currently being constructed across Central Europe to stop the spread of infected persons. In other regions of the world, however, the situation is much more tenuous. Many regions of India face high levels of infectious transmission due to high population density, despite their military's strong efforts. Under similar pressures, China has declared martial law and quarantined the infected regions. Many nations, including the G7, but especially those in far more vulnerable positions, are simultaneously calling the United Nations to develop a sound, comprehensive, global action plan which they can rally around to face this mounting threat.
We intend to seal off this bird. It's wrong!
mentality taking over both the Han Chinese and the Uyghurs, these soldiers must now create lines of defense to protect both sides, setting up buffer zones in areas throughout the city to prevent the groups from clashing. In the Uyghur neighborhood near the old bazaar, the usual bustle is gone. Most shops closed, just a few signs of everyday activity out on the streets. Everything calm now, but they tell us hundreds of Han Chinese swept into the area the night before, Tuesday night, killing at least 6 people. This man tells us you have 2 forces now. On one side, the Han Chinese, and then the Uyghurs. Minutes later, a security breach. Han Chinese with their sticks have arrived.
This place suddenly doesn't feel very safe. We're seeing Han Chinese on that side. Now you see there are soldiers, but they're not keeping all of them back. We just saw a few Han Chinese men cross into the Uyghur neighborhood side, and some Uyghur women were screaming in fright.
Here we're seeing fewer sticks and more